very good morning. It's just past 8 this August 20th morning and we're back again with Breakfast Show. I'm Anil Thomas and over the next 1 hour, we'll take you through the major happenings across India and the globe from the field of politics, business, sports and entertainment. Also our regular segments on health and good news India. Our top focus over the day, Prime Minister Modi speaking to Donald Trump, flagging the extreme rhetoric of regional leaders. Also Chandrayaan-2 nears the moon, a make or break operation today. We'll also get live inputs from our correspondent about schools reopening in Kashmir and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's visit to Bangladesh. So let's get started this Tuesday morning with a look at the top stories we are tracking this hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds 30-minute telephonic conversation with US President Donald Trump on regional and bilateral issues, states that extreme rhetoric and incitement to anti-India violence by certain leaders in the region is not conducive to peace. Things fast moving towards complete normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir. Landline services restored in many places. Administration warns people to remain careful of rumors. After leaving the Earth orbit, Chandrayaan-2 to enter the lunar orbit today. The orbiter will unleash the lander on September 2nd and will soft land near the lunar South Pole on September 7th. Relief and rescue work underway on a war footing as rains and floods wreak havoc in most states of North India. 35 lives lost in Himachal and Uttarakhand. Flood-like situation in many parts of Punjab and Haryana. Flood alert issued for NCR. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu to meet Prime Minister of Latvia today. Vice President will hold delegation-level talks and will also address India-Latvia Business Forum meet. External Affairs Minister undertakes a two-day visit to Bangladesh. As Jaishankar will be holding talks on bilateral issues of mutual importance with his Bangladeshi counterpart. Veteran music composer Khayyam passes away at the age of 92 years. Prime Minister Modi says the nation will remain grateful to him for his memorable compositions. Khayyam is best known for his works in Kabhi Kabhi and Umrao Jaan. And in sports, Srikanth beat Prannoy advanced to the second round of the BWF World Championship being played in Switzerland. And now for the stories in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday had a telephonic conversation with US President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation was marked by warmth and cordiality, which characterizes the relations between the two leaders and covered bilateral and regional matters. Referring to bilateral discussions in Osaka on the sidelines of the G20 summit in June this year, the Prime Minister expressed hope that the Commerce Minister of India and the US Trade Representative would meet at an early date to discuss bilateral trade prospects for mutual interest. In the context of the regional situation, the Prime Minister stated that extreme rhetoric and incitement to anti-India violence by certain leaders in the region was not conducive to peace. He highlighted the importance of creating an environment free from terror and violence and cross-border terrorism without exception. The Prime Minister reiterated India's commitment to cooperate with anyone who followed this path in fighting poverty, illiteracy and disease. Recalling that Monday marked the 100 years of the independence of Afghanistan, the Prime Minister reiterated India's long-standing and unwavering commitment to work for united, secure, democratic and truly independent Afghanistan. The Prime Minister stated that he appreciated remaining in regular touch with President Trump. In Jammu and Kashmir, the situation continues to remain calm and peaceful across the state, with no major law and order incident being reported. Restrictions are being phased out gradually in the state. Over 190 primary schools reopened in Srinagar on Monday, while in Jammu region all schools function normal amidst a peaceful environment. Jammu and Kashmir government has said that all middle schools of the valley will be reopened from Wednesday. Government has urged people not to believe in any kind of rumor mongering by the vested interests.
The precautionary restrictions imposed in Jammu and Kashmir in the wake of abrogation of Article 370 are gradually being withdrawn. Schools have reopened and children are happy to be back among their classmates. Phone lines being restored too have brought much relief to the people. The atmosphere is normal. Good cheer has returned to school life in Jammu and Kashmir. 190 schools reopen in Srinagar. Security forces continue to be deployed on roads to ensure that school children do not face any trouble or become victims of any untoward incident. The students, needless to say, are very happy to be back at school.
मैं 10th क्लास में पढ़ती हूँ। थोड़े दिन के बाद हमारा स्कूल खुला है और हमें बहुत खुशी है। नेल्सन मंडेला ने कहा था कि एजुकेशन इज ए पावरफुल वेपन। एजुकेशन बहुत एक बड़ी चीज़ है। मैं आज बहुत खुश हूँ कि आज सभी जो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री उन्होंने बताया है कि कश्मीर के सभी स्कूल्स खोलो। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि आज सभी स्कूल्स खोल के हम स्कूल जा रहे हैं।
Landline telephone facilities are being restored in the valley. On Sunday, 10 more telephone exchanges started operating. More than 50,000 fixed line phones are operating in the valley. Police have removed barricades from several roads to allow more free movement within Srinagar. Markets too have opened and traffic jams were witnessed on streets. The administration has made every arrangement to see that supply chains are well maintained. Government offices have been fully restored. Jammu and Kashmir police have warned that those spreading rumours will be strictly dealt with. People have faith in the administration and all sections of society are cooperating with it. Life is normal.
The citizens of Jammu and Kashmir should be facilitated in whatever means possible. In the same light, all the hospitals, district hospitals, tertiary hospitals, mother and child care hospitals of the district as well as of the cities, they are functioning properly. Ambulances are functioning.
There was no major law and order incident was noticed today, and all the areas where there has been relaxations were extended, have behaved peacefully. The situation is being monitored very closely, and the situation is returning back slowly to the normal. So as far as in general, there is no major law and order incident that was reported in the valley.
Outside Srinagar too, schools have reopened with children excited about returning to their studies. Both parents and children are happy with the schools reopening. The situation is normal in the rest of the Union Territory as well.
स्कूल जो है वो नॉर्मली मामूल के मुताबिक फंक्शन कर रहे हैं। हमारे यहाँ 1724 स्कूल्स हैं, सारे के सारे खुले हैं। उसके साथ जो डिग्री कॉलेजेस हैं वो भी फंक्शनल हैं और पूरे ज़िले की जितनी भी तहसील्स हैं, 13 तहसील्स हैं, हर तहसील का हेडक्वार्टर पर जो मार्केट है वो भी ओपन है।
हमने आज रामबन के स्कूल का क्लास वर्क जो पिछले कुछ दिनों के लिए सस्पेंड किया गया था, आज हमने वो सस्पेंशन हटा दी है और क्लास वर्क आज रिज्यूम करने को बोल दिया है। डिपेंडिंग के ठीक रहे हालात तो आई थिंक रिलैक्सेशन आगे चल के इसमें भी हमें मिल जाएगी और मोबाइल नेटवर्क्स उम्मीद करता हूँ कि कुछ ही दिनों में स्टार्ट हो जाए।
Telephone phone services have been restored in Avantipura as well. Meanwhile, locals in large numbers have been utilizing telephone booths run by the Jammu and Kashmir police to talk to their loved ones. Every day, over 1,000 people utilize the booths.
हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में वी है रफली 15 फ़ोन है हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जो हमारे सभी 15 फ़ोन जो है वो पब्लिक यूज़ कर रही है और रफली दिन में वी हैव मोर देन 1000 पीपल आर कमिंग फॉर द फोन कॉल्स। तो एक लॉग भी मेंटेन करते हैं कितने लोग फ़ोन करें। इवन द एक्सेस इज फॉर द नाइट ऑल्सो।
The situation in the Union Territory is peaceful and is expected to return to complete normalcy in the coming days. With inputs from Rama and Abhishek, DD News.
Well, for more inputs on the story, Urmilesh Bhatt joins us from Srinagar this morning. Urmilesh, as schools reopen there, what are the officials appealing now to the people there? You know, are the children coming out in large numbers? Are the parents ready to send the children to school in large numbers?
जी अनिल, जैसे कि आप हमने बताया भी है कि कल सोमवार से जो यहाँ पे प्राइमरी स्कूल जो है खुल गए हैं, जहाँ की बच्चे बहुत खुश थे, उनसे ज़्यादा उनके पेरेंट्स भी खुश थे कि बच्चे जो है स्कूल जाने लगे हैं। वहीं जो है यहाँ जो आलाधिकारी हैं उन्होंने संवाददाता सम्मेलन में कल कहा था कि हालात जिस तरीके से सामान्य होते जा रहे हैं, तो आने वाले जो कल जो बुधवार है, अगर इसी तरीके से सामान्य हालात रहते हैं तो मिडिल क्लास भी जो है खोले जाएंगे। दूसरी बात यह है कि सुरक्षा के यहाँ पे पुख्ता इंतजाम किए हैं, किसी प्रकार की जो है प्रशासन जो है सुरक्षा में कोई ढील नहीं देने के मूड में है, क्योंकि जो जिस तरीके से यहाँ पे सुरक्षा है उसी को देखते हुए जो है यहाँ पे जो स्कूल है प्राइमरी स्कूल वो खोले गए थे कि कोई जो है अप्रिय घटना जो है अभी तक कोई आई नहीं थी। तो उसके चलते हुए अनिल जो है यहाँ पे प्राइमरी स्कूल जो है खोले गए थे, और जिस तरीके से हालात लगातार सामान्य होते जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि जो मेडिकल स्टोर खुले हैं, हॉस्पिटल खुले हैं, जो सरकारी जो दफ्तर है वो सारे के सारे खुले हुए हैं। तो ये सब देखते हुए जो है जो कल जो हुआ था सोमवार को संवाददाता सम्मेलन हुआ था शाम को, तो उसमें जो है जो अधिकारी थे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे, उन्होंने कहा था कि हालात इसी तरीके से अगर सामान्य रहते हैं तो मिडिल क्लास को भी खोलने की बात की थी बुधवार से अनिल।
Urmilesh, considering what the Jammu and Kashmir Principal Secretary Rohit Kansal had said, that restrictions would be relaxed for longer hours, after an assessment of the situation. Now, when is the next assessment going to take place, and when do we expect more relaxation for longer period of time, or is it a continuous process?
हाँ बिल्कुल अनिल, जैसे कि जो प्रधान सचिव हैं रोहित कंसल, उन्होंने जो है हमसे बताया था, पिछले दिनों बताया था कि जो यहाँ पे जो थाने हैं उनमें बहुत सारे थानों में जो है छूट दी गई है, और हालात अगर इसी तरीके से सामान्य रहते हैं तो और भी जो थाने हैं उनमें छूट दी जाएगी। लेकिन ये जरूर है कि शरारती तत्वों पर जो है प्रशासन पैनी नजर रखा हुआ है, और किसी प्रकार से शरारती तत्व जो करेंगे उनको जो है जो यहाँ के आला अधिकारी है, पुलिस आला अधिकारी है, उन्होंने भी कहा कि कठोर कार्रवाई की जाएगी अगर किसी भी तरीके से कोई अफवाह फैलाता है या कोई भी शरारती तत्व किसी प्रकार की शरारत करता है अनिल।
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning with those inputs there from Srinagar. That was a correspondent Urmilesh Bhatt giving us an update there from ground zero. Moving ahead, Chandrayaan-2 today will approach Moon, and the spacecraft's liquid engine will be fired again to insert the spacecraft into lunar orbit. Following this, there will be further 4 orbit maneuvers to make the spacecraft enter into its final orbit, passing over the lunar poles at a distance of about 100 kilometers from the Moon's surface. Subsequently, Vikram lander will separate from the orbiter on September 2nd this year. 2 orbit maneuvers will be performed on the lander before the initiation of a powered descent to make a soft landing on the lunar surface on September 7th, 2019. Meanwhile, heavy rains continue to wreak havoc across several states of North India. 35 people have died in rain-related incidents in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, while the surging waters of Yamuna and its tributaries now pose a threat to many parts of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and the national capital, Delhi. The death toll in Himachal Pradesh rose to 25 on Monday, with 3 more people losing their lives due to the rains. The weather office has predicted that rains will continue over the next 24 hours. Chamba, Kullu, Shimla, Shimror and Solan district are the worst affected. All educational institutions in Chamba district will remain closed today as heavy to extremely heavy rains remain unabated in the region. More than 800 roads are closed and hundreds of vehicles are stranded in tribal area of Lahaul Spiti due to unexpected snowfall triggered landslides. Heavy rains also battered the other Himalayan state of Uttarakhand. The scale of devastation caused by the heavy rains in Uttarkashi district unfolded on Monday, with the recovery of more bodies from different villages taking the toll to 10, while 6 people were still missing. 3 helicopters, including one from the Indian Air Force, were pressed into service to take relief materials including food packets and essential medicines to people. While the Met Department predicting heavy rainfall in parts of the state on Monday, all schools and Anganwadi centers in the 9 of the 13 districts remain closed. Most rivers in the state were in spate, with the Ganga crossing the danger mark in Haridwar and flowing close to it in Rishikesh. Several rivers, including the Ganga, Yamuna and the Gagra rivers, were in spate in Uttar Pradesh due to heavy rains in neighboring states, leading to floods in low-lying areas. The situation in parts of Punjab and Haryana remained grim, prompting the Punjab government to declare the current flood situation in the affected village of the state a natural calamity. Chief Minister Amrinder Singh also announced 100 crores for emergency relief and rehabilitation measures in the affected areas. In Haryana, braving bad weather and low visibility in the wee hours on Monday, the Indian Air Force airlifted to safety 9 members of a family, including 6 children stranded in an inundated field near a swollen Yamuna river in Karnal district. Heavy rains over the past few days have resulted in flooding in some parts of the state. And for more on that, Usha Pawar joins us on the phone line from Jalandhar this morning. Usha, good morning. Usha, give us the current state there. What's the Met Department saying for the next 24 hours there in terms of weather predictions?
Yes, Anil. Weather today, almost in the whole of the state, it is sunny. So that is a bit respite, we can say, for the people. But overall, if we talk about the flood situation in the whole of the state, I think over 15 districts of the state, they are still marooned, they are inundated, and the lives of the people, it's very terrible. And if we talk about all the 3 rivers, Satluj River, Beas and Ravi, all rivers are still in spate, and the flow has not reduced. And if we talk about Jalandhar, in Jalandhar district only at 4 places the embankment of Satluj River, there were breaches, and the administration and the locals, they've been busy throughout the night to plug these breaches, but they've not been able to they have not been able to do that. They have not been successful. So the life of the people is still very terrible, and in Jalandhar is very badly affected. The Kapurthala adjoining district is also very badly affected, where in Gonia area of Jalandhar district, about a 300-meter breach was noticed, and the locals, the environmentalists and other people, administration, they were busy throughout the night to plug these breaches, but they have not been able to do that, and hundreds of villages are inundated. And in Ropar also, Ropar was the worst affected yesterday, and there the Chief Minister, he visited the flood affected areas. If we talk about other districts, even in Firozpur district, breaches were there in the embankment of Satluj River. Same was the case in Pathankot, that was also affected. Ludhiana district is also very badly affected by floods, and still we can say that overall the situation is grim. And but otherwise, if we talk about the administration is doing all of the efforts in Punjab, which we found Deputy Commissioner and rural SSP leading the relief operations of SDRF, NDRF and the Army. Army has also been called tonight in Firozpur district, where the situation is grim. Overall, I mean, we can say that there is no respite for the people, but for the fact that the weather is clear today, it is sunny today, not only in Jalandhar, in the whole of Punjab, but still people, the miserable people, they are still in the same condition, and at many places they are still waiting for help from the administration. Anil?
Okay, also give us a quick update there on the Bhakra Dam. You know, how's the levels there? Is it overflowing, and is there expectation that more water might be released from the Bhakra Dam?
Bhakra Dam is still at danger level, and from Ropar headworks, 240,000 cubic water was released, which created havoc in the area. Rain is not there, but as I said, the water level in the rivers has not reduced, and it is really a cause of concern for the people in over 15 districts in Punjab.
Okay, also, you know, since the government, Punjab government has announced it as a national calamity, what about, you know, the migrant labor? Because that's a large number of people there who are migrant laborers there, who are, in that state. What's the state government steps taken by the state government to help the migrant labor in the state?
There's not been any mention regarding that by the Chief Minister when he visited Ropar, but that is true that there's large number of migrant laborers in Punjab, particularly during this paddy season. A lot more people, they come and go, and really it's a really cause of concern for these people also. But we've not heard from CM's mouth regarding this issue of migrant laborers and their well-being and their concerns so far.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us. But you take good care of yourself. We'll come back to you time and again for more updates from the northern part of India. Moving down to the national capital. In the national capital, Delhi, more than 10,000 people are living in low-lying areas along the Yamuna in Delhi and have been evacuated by the government agencies as the river breached the danger mark on Monday evening. People living in the floodplain of the river have been moved to over 2,000 tents set up in safer places. The old iron bridge over the Yamuna was closed down for road and rail traffic by the authorities as the water level crossed the danger mark of 205.33 meters. The Yamuna flows through 6 districts of Delhi whose low-lying areas are prone to flooding. The administration has deployed 30 boats to prevent accidental drowning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be embarking on a 3-nation tour starting on 22nd of this month. The Prime Minister will be on bilateral visits to France, UAE and Bahrain. PM Modi will attend the G7 summit in France and hold bilateral discussions with President Emmanuel Macron. The Prime Minister will also be holding bilateral meetings with the top leadership of UAE and Bahrain.
Prime Minister's first port of call in the 3-nation visit will be France. He will reach France on 22nd August for a bilateral visit and hold delegation-level talks with President Emmanuel Macron. The next day, he will meet French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe and also address an event on Indian community at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris. A memorial for Indian victims of 2 Air India flight tragic air crashes of 1950 and 1966 will also be inaugurated.
France has also been a strong supporter in international forums. There exists strong cooperation in the fields of defense, maritime security, space, cyber, counterterrorism, and civil nuclear energy. Trade and investment relations have been growing stronger. The bilateral trade in 2018-19 was US $11.89 billion.
Prime Minister's second stop will be United Arab Emirates. He will reach the Middle East nation on 23rd August, where he will receive the Order of Zayed, the highest civil decoration of the UAE. This is in recognition for giving a big boost to the bilateral strategy. PM will hold delegation-level talks with Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. On the occasion of Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birth anniversary celebrations, commemorative stamps will be launched in Abu Dhabi. The launch of RuPay card is also on the schedule. The visit is expected to boost cooperation in the sectors of skill development, space, information technology and cyber.
The award, in the name of Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the UAE, acquires special significance as it was awarded to the Prime Minister in the year of the birth centenary of Sheikh Zayed. Further, commemorative stamp on Mahatma Gandhi will be released on the occasion of the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Arrangements for launch of RuPay card in the UAE will also be put in place during this visit.
From UAE, Prime Minister will leave for Bahrain on August 24th, which will be the first ever visit from Indian Prime Minister. He will be holding extensive talks with King of Bahrain, Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, on various bilateral regional issues. During the visit, the Prime Minister will also launch the renovation of Srinath Ji Temple in Manama. India-Bahrain bilateral trade has been on the rise, reaching about $1.3 billion in 2018-19. After the Bahrain visit, Prime Minister Modi will be returning to France for the G7 summit. The G7 summit will be held from August 24 to 26 in Biarritz, France, where India has been invited as a partner country. Prime Minister will also be demonstrating JAM, that is Jan-Dhan, Aadhaar and Mobile in a digital transformation session. DD News.
Vice President Venkaiah Naidu, who's on a three-nation tour to the Baltic countries, will meet the Prime Minister of Latvia, Jaishankar, today. The Vice President will hold delegation-level talks during the day. He will also address the India-Latvia Business Forum meet. Earlier on Monday, addressing the Indian diaspora at Latvian capital Riga, the Vice President said that Latvia and India enjoy friendly and cordial relations which have been growing steadily in diverse spheres since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1991. He said that India is committed to strengthening its relations with Latvia in all spheres, including business and investment, cultural and academic cooperation, and people-to-people contact.
Latvia and India enjoy friendly and cordial relations. Our relations have been growing steadily in diverse spheres since the establishment of our diplomatic relations in 1991. India is committed to strengthening its relations with Latvia in all spheres, including business and investment, cultural and academic cooperation, and people-to-people connect.
External Affairs Minister Jaishankar reached Dhaka on Monday on a three-day visit to Bangladesh. Jaishankar will be holding talks on bilateral issues of mutual importance with his Bangladeshi counterpart today. He will also call on the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, later in the day today. This is Dr. S. Jaishankar's first visit to Bangladesh after taking over the charge of External Affairs Ministry.
I'm delighted to be in Dhaka. It's my first visit as Foreign Minister to Dhaka. I, of course, have been here many times before. I look forward to a very productive day tomorrow of our discussions. We have a very good relationship, a very strong relationship. We have many things to discuss about taking the relationship to higher levels. And I'm truly delighted to be here, and I look forward tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Rajesh Shah joins us from Dhaka on the phone line. Good morning, Rajesh. Purely looking at it, External Affairs first visit to Dhaka, it's talking about strengthening special bilateral ties. What are these special ties that we are talking about that are to be strengthened in this bilateral visit?
Adil, India and Bangladesh have been very strong friends right from the day Bangladesh became independent in 1971.
True.
India contributed a great deal in its liberation war, and people of Bangladesh are still very fond of India, remembering those days. This visit will further strengthen the very strong ties that India and Bangladesh retained since then. And the visit of the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jaishankar, will add further strength to it, as he said at the airport last night when he arrived in Dhaka. Yes, Anil.
Okay, Dr. Jaishankar's will be the second highest, if you purely talk in second high ministerial interaction between the two sides in less than a month. Give us a significance of, is it the neighborhood first policy that's been taken forward, and what are the issues, the gambit of issues that will be up for discussions today in the External Affairs visit, Minister's visit?
Indeed, Anil. In fact, this visit is about the general strong relationship between India and Bangladesh, and the special focus on this visit would be on the issue of connectivity between India and Bangladesh, the connectivity issues that relates to a network of railways and roads and other projects India is running. Another issue that is important is the security issue, and third, most important, is the people-to-people contact between the two countries, which has been growing very strongly over the last 3 years. These are the major issues on which Dr. Jaishankar would be talking to his Bangladeshi counterpart.
Also, a quick word on the Rohingya issue. Will that issue be up for discussions when the External Affairs Minister meets the Prime Minister of Bangladesh?
Well, Anil, a meeting between the Prime Minister of Bangladesh and India's Foreign Minister is generally being considered as an official call-on, and these issues, there has been no confirmation about whether Rohingya would be discussed during this visit or not. But it will be probably in preparation for the forthcoming visit of the Bangladesh Prime Minister to India in October in a few months from now.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning with those updates there on the External Affairs Minister's visit to Bangladesh. Moving ahead, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday inaugurated 36 duplex flat for members of Parliament at North Avenue. While addressing the gathering on the occasion, the Prime Minister said that the government is considering suggestions to build a new Parliament building or to improve and modernize the facilities at the existing complex. Underlining that this session was very fruitful, Prime Minister Modi said credit should be given to all political parties, MPs and also those who chaired the proceedings in both houses of Parliament.
स्पीकर महोदय जी ने भी कहा और उपराष्ट्रपति जी ने भी सदन में कहा कि अब जब 2022 आजादी के 75 साल हो रहे हैं तो हमारा पार्लियामेंट का भी तो कुछ हाल बदलना चाहिए। सदन में से ही मांग आई है तो सरकार ने इसको गंभीरता से लिया है। इस प्रकार से इसी पार्लियामेंट का भवन का उपयोग करते हुए अंदर व्यवस्थाओं को कैसे आधुनिक किया जा सके। आजादी के 75 साल के साथ इस काम को भी अगर हम कर सकते हैं तो करना चाहिए। वैसे समय बहुत कम बचा है लेकिन फिर भी कोशिश करनी चाहिए।
All personnel working in the Central Armed Police Forces will now retire at an uniform age of 60 years. A government order said on Monday. The Union Home Ministry order corrected the anomaly where personnel between the ranks of constable to commandant in 4 forces, Central Reserve Police Force, the Border Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force and the Sashastra Seema Bal superannuated at the age of 57 rather than 60. Officers from the rank of Deputy Inspector General up to the topmost rank of Director General in these 4 forces retired after attaining the age of 60. However, in 2 other forces of Central Industrial Security Force and the Assam Rifles, all personnel retired at the age of 60, and some officials had moved the court, pointing out the anomaly among the forces that function under the uniform command of the Ministry of Home Affairs. The latest Home Ministry directions comes in the wake of a January order of the Delhi High Court, where it had called the policy of different age of retirement as discriminatory and unconstitutional and said it created 2 classes in the uniformed forces. Veteran composer Khayyam, best known for his music in classic films such as Kabhi Kabhi and Umrao Jaan, passed away after prolonged illness at a hospital in Mumbai on Monday. He was 92. The noted composer was admitted at the ICU at the Sujoy Hospital in suburban Juhu due to lung infection over the last 10 days. The musician's other notable works include films such as Trishul, Noori, Shola aur Shabnam. Mohammad Zahur Hashmi, popularly known as Khayyam, was also a recipient of the Sangeet Natak Academy Award and Padma Bhushan. The last rites of the veteran composer will be held today.
कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है इन आँखों की मस्ती के मस्ताने हजारों हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief over the demise of Khayyam. The Prime Minister tweeted, and I quote, "India will remain grateful to Khayyam Sahab for giving us some of the most memorable compositions which will be remembered forever. He will also be remembered for his humanitarian gestures to support upcoming artists. His demise is extremely saddening." Senior DD News anchor Neelam Sharma, who passed away on the 17th of August, was remembered with fondness and great affection in a somber condolence meet on Monday as friends, colleagues and acquaintances from across the many networks of Doordarshan paid her glowing tributes. The meet was attended by senior officials of Prasar Bharati and the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, among others. Tears flowed as many recalled moments they shared with the anchor, known for an illustrious career of 2 decades in which she launched and presented a number of path-breaking shows, a few among them being Badi Charcha and Tejaswini. Prasar Bharati chairman A. Surya Prakash said that Prasar Bharati would soon be introducing 2 awards, the Neelam Sharma Tejaswini Award and the Achyutanand Sahu Award.
It's a very big loss and a very big void. I don't know how we in Doordarshan are going to, make up for this. We have decided to institute the Neelam Sharma Tejaswini Award, which I think will be a very coveted award for anchors as we go along, and also the Achyutanand Sahu Award. This was another thing which was on our mind for some time. And this was another colleague of ours whom we lost in very, very tragic circumstances.
Information and Broadcasting Secretary Amit Khare said that Neelam was a representative of DD and an ideal for many youngsters to follow.
नीलम शर्मा जी ने निश्चित रूप से शालीनता से, सौम्यता से और उसके साथ ही अपने विचारों से दूरदर्शन को एक नई पहचान दी। मैं समझता हूँ दूरदर्शन में जो नई पीढ़ी आ रही है वह निश्चित रूप से इनके कदमों पर आगे बढ़ेगी।
CEO Prasar Bharati Shashi Shekhar Vempati said that Neelam Sharma would always remain in the hearts of millions of DD viewers because of her talent and grace.
She will be long remembered for the grace and dignity that she carried with her on screen and of course in the hearts of millions of people. I was just staggered after I shared the news on Twitter with the volume of response. I think it goes to show the kind of presence she had and the place she has in people's hearts.
DG DD News Mayank Agarwal said that her passing away was an irreplaceable loss for DD News.
दूरदर्शन समाचार की वो छाप थी, शालीन व्यक्तित्व, गरिमामय प्रेजेंस उनकी, चाहे वो स्क्रीन पर हो या ऑफ स्क्रीन हो, उनका व्यवहार जो है वो हमेशा हमेशा के लिए याद रहेगा। मैं यही कहूँगा, the star has gone, but the light will never die.
Well, today is the 75th birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Congress leaders paid tributes to the late leader at his Samadhi Veer Bhumi in New Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to Rajiv Gandhi. Well, moving to international stories, an out-of-control wildfire on Gran Canaria in Spain's Canary Islands kept spreading on Monday as well. The blaze, the third in 10 days in the mountainous center of the island, has forced the evacuation of several villages with a combined population of over 9,000 people. Provided the conditions of the island, such as high temperatures, strong winds and low humidity is fueling the wildfire, altogether 1,000 firefighters and other crew and 14 water-dropping helicopters and planes were working to control the blaze, which is estimated to have destroyed 10,000 hectares of forest so far. Another wildlife fire broke out in the Spanish town of Estepona on Monday, with 170 firefighters called to the site to tackle the flames. Numerous helicopters were also deployed to the site to deal with the fire, which is not the first such occurrence in Estepona. This year has been particularly notorious for wildfires in Spain. On to some sporting action, Indian shuttlers had a good day in office at the BWF World Championship with the men's singles trio of Kidambi Srikanth, B. Sai Purneet and H.S. Prannoy advancing to the second round in Basel in Switzerland. Former world number one Kidambi Srikanth, who has not won a title at the BWF World Tour in the last 22 months, managed to put up a strong fight against Ireland's Nyat Nguyen, winning the game in a 3-game contest, 17-21, 21-16, 21-6 in a match that lasted an hour and 6 minutes. He joins Sai Purneet and H.S. Prannoy in the second round. Srikanth, who's coming back after recovering from a knee problem, will face Israel's Misha Zilberman in the next round. B. Sai Parneet, who has been conferred with the Arjuna Award, defeated 66th ranked Jason Anthony Hoshu of Canada, a 21-17, 21-16 in the first round match lasting 39 minutes. He is likely to take on Lee Dong-kung of Korea next. In another singles match, world number 30 HS Prannoy fought back to beat 93 ranked Eetu Hino of Finland in 3 games, 17-21, 21-10, 21-11. The former world number 8 will face Chinese legend Lin Dan, now seeded 11th in the tournament, in the second round. Well, Brazilian football star Neymar has been left out of the Paris Saint-Germain squad for the second week in succession as speculation continues about his future. The 27-year-old, who missed PSG's league opener against Nîmes last weekend, has been the subject of bids from Barcelona and Real Madrid. However, the French club are yet to accept an offer for the Brazil forward. Neymar, who became the world's most expensive player when he joined PSG from Barcelona for 222 million euros or 200 million pounds in 2017, has scored 34 league goals in 2 seasons at the French club. Well, Borussia Dortmund came from behind to begin their Bundesliga campaign with a 5-1 win against Augsburg. The visitors took the shock lead in the first minute when Florian poked in from close range. However, Paco poked home barely 2 minutes later to bring Dortmund level before England winger Jadon Sancho put the hosts ahead. Alcácer then got his second before goals from Marco Ruiz and Julian Brandt completed the scoring late on. It means Dortmund strike the first blow in the title race, with defending champions Bayern Munich having drawn their season opener 2-2 with Hertha Berlin on Friday. Well, time now to take a look at the top stories published in the newspapers from the national capital. Our first look is at the Hindustan Times, and a rise in malaria cases crossing 100. Double of dengue this year. Till August 17, 111 malaria, 57 dengue, 20 chikungunya cases have been recorded. It is lower than 2018, but do's and don'ts being given, and malaria suddenly back in the news, not only in India but also in many parts of the world. Well, moving ahead to our next story, it comes from Mail Today. SpiceJet and Indigo to shift from T2 to T3. So a change there in terminals, and people who are planning to travel need to be careful about the change in terminals. 2 airlines being shifted from T2 to T3. Terminal 2 has been expanded in order to handle 3 million more passengers per year. So as a result of which this particular move is taking place. 2 more airlines being shifted to the main airports, that's the T3 airport. Well, now a look at a story on apps and discounts. This comes from the Times of India's business page. This is about apps can't set discounts. This is what restaurants are now claiming. Restaurants are willing to pay food aggregators for reservation and delivery, but won't let them dictate discounts. The head of a national body of restaurants has said on Monday, hardening the stance of the ongoing move or an ongoing tussle between eating joints logging out of platforms operated by apps. So this particular log out row is getting bigger with every passing day. Our final look is at the Hindu, where DDCA has now roped in Yashpal Sharma and Sunil Walson, veterans there in search of finding an head coach for the Delhi Ranji team. Both members from the 1983 World Cup winning squad being entrusted the job of picking the head coach for the Delhi Ranji team. We'll have to wait and watch on what's the talent that they get to handle the Delhi team that's looking for that elusive Ranji Trophy triumph for a very long time. Well, after a look at the National Daily, it's time now to jog down memory lane and take a look at all the important historic events that took place on this very day.
In 1828, on this day, the first official assembly of Raja Ram Mohan Roy's Brahmo Samaj, which later came to be known as the Brahmo Samaj, was held in Kolkata. Brahmo Samaj was one of the most influential religious movements in India and made a significant contribution to the making of modern India. In 1953, on this day, the Soviet Union publicly acknowledged the testing of a hydrogen bomb. On this day in 1975, Viking 1, one of the two unnamed Viking landers, was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida on a mission to Mars. On this day in 1995, Purushottam Express going to New Delhi collided with Kalindi Express. The accident, which killed about 358 people and injured 300, took place in Firozabad in Uttar Pradesh. BKS Iyengar, the founder of the style of yoga known as Iyengar Yoga and considered one of the foremost yoga teachers in the world, passed away in Pune, Maharashtra on this day in 2014.
Well, time now to take a look at all the events listed for the day today.
Chandrayaan-2, which is India's second lunar mission to enter today in lunar orbit following the firing of the spacecraft's liquid engine. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who is on a 3-day-long visit to Bangladesh, will hold bilateral meeting with his counterpart Dr. A.K. Abdul Momin at the State Guest House Padma. Chief Minister of Karnataka B.S. Yedurappa to expand his cabinet today. The State Bank of India will organize a mega farmers meet across the country at nearly 14,000 rural and semi-urban branches to reach out to 1.40 crore farmer customers.
Well, moving to our regular segment on health, today we'll give you preventive measures on hepatitis A and E. That's our topic for health. Let's take a look.
Hepatitis A and E are more rampant during monsoon. Hepatitis A and E are caused by strains of hepatitis virus that affects liver. The disease is spread through contaminated food and water.
Hepatitis is one of the disease which is because of contamination of water by hepatitis A or E virus. Patient may feel nausea or vomiting, at times may have vomiting, and there may be loss of appetite. All these cases should be managed at home until unless there are some warning symptoms. Less than 1%, around 1% of patients may go into encephalopathy or coma. In case they develop some complication, then hospitalization is required. Otherwise, they can continue to take normal food and rest at home, and most of the time disease will settle on its own. As far as vaccination is concerned, no vaccine is available for hepatitis E virus. There is a vaccine available in the market against hepatitis A.
The body is usually able to clear the infection on its own in a couple of weeks. However, it is best to visit a specialist for treatment.
We can prevent by avoiding taking food from outside in this season, and by washing your hands after going to the toilet. We can boil water for 15 minutes, and I think that is enough, or we can chlorinate water, and after that we can use water.
Treatment of hepatitis A and E is mainly conservative and symptomatic. Maintaining good nutrition and immunity is essential. These infections can be avoided by practicing good hygiene. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
Well, time now to take a look at our good news story. In our dose of good news today, we bring you this report by our correspondent Tabassum from Mumbai, who tells us of this 13-year-old Tilak Mehta, who built a profit-making logistics company just because he could not bear to see his father suffer the stress and burden of work.
Sometimes the smallest of thoughts, when positive, can initiate a great transformation. That's what happened in the life of 13-year-old Tilak Mehta. Disturbed by the stress of work he saw his father undergoing, he began an enterprise, PNP, conceived on the notion to help out his dad. Papers and Parcels. Tilak's startup delivers packages around Mumbai city in just a day. A logistics company for which Tilak took the help of Mumbai Dabbawalas.
ये लोग एक दिन में डब्बा लेके भी जाते हैं और लेके भी आते हैं सिर्फ 50 रुपए में. सो अगर डब्बे वाले कर सकते हैं तो फिर हम लोग क्यों नहीं. सो ये जो एक थॉट था वो मेरे माइंड में रहा और फिर मैंने सोचा क्यों ना हम डब्बे वाले से ही कोलैबोरेट करके एक ऐसा चेन चालू करें। सो ये एक थॉट था और फिर आज ये कंपनी में एस्टैब्लिश हुआ।
PNP works through a mobile app, has 200 employees and 300 dabbawalas associated with it. It delivers 1200 parcels a day. Papers and Parcels currently takes orders of delivery of no more than 3 kilometers and caters to pathology labs, salons and bakeries, charging from 40 to 180 rupees a parcel. The dream is to make it a Fortune 500 company. When they say nothing is impossible, it is examples like Tilak's that prove them right. From Mumbai, Tabassum Malik for Good News India, DD News.
A Mumbai's 13-year-old entrepreneur looking at a turnover or targeting a turnover of over 100 crore rupees, tying up with dabbawalas and making it count. Moving ahead, adventurer Bear Grylls has confirmed that Prime Minister Modi's Man vs. Wild episode was the most trending televised event with 3.6 billion impressions, beating the Super Bowl 53, which had 3.4 billion impressions. When it aired, the episode was the top trend on Twitter in India and globally. Grylls tweeted, officially the world's most trending televised event with 3.6 billion impressions, beating Super Bowl 53, which had 3.4 billion social impressions. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Well, now time to take a look at the weather in your city. Before we end this edition of Breakfast Show, we leave you with a positive thought to kickstart your day. When everything feels like an uphill struggle, just think of the view from the top. We leave you with some melodious music from the music genius Khayyam. His passing away makes us all feel like music lost a note today. Respect and naman. Namaskar.
कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है जैसे तू मुझे चाहे